Listen all to my words. Strive for infinite growth. Seek for all eternity to be beautiful and good.
The moment is finally upon us.
At last.
There is not a soul creature born from this universe that can resist the desire to know their true purpose and discover their true self.
To discover those answers, one would travel to the ends of the universe.
Yes, and so it is finally time for the divine light of wisdom to be released. Only the creator of the universe can emit such power.
The Sun of Truth will rise over this entire planet, while the whole universe will be watching.
Listen carefully, my soul. I have here the door to the truth.
Chapter 1. More than 100 billion years ago, the primordial God, the Creator, intended to create the third dimensional universe.
And then, on one fortuitous day, a tremendous phenomenon gave birth to the stars.
The Big Bang.
Stars were the first forms of life full of consciousness.
And 5.5 billion years ago, the primordial God chose the beautiful planet of Venus for a great creation.
It was El Miore, the first ninth-dimensional great spirit of the solar system, who was responsible for creating lives on Venus. And the very first of these experimental life forms was a cross between an animal and a plant.
But after that, El Miore divided his creation into plant and animal life forms, and he watched as they evolved over the next 2 billion years. Until one day, El Miore decided to create human beings on Venus.
Since then, over 1 billion years has passed, and the planet has been witness to the rise and fall of many civilizations. Eventually, Venusians gained the ability to travel through space and communicate with other planets.
They created a utopian society. Life in this society was based on the principles of love, knowledge, reflection, and development.
However, one day the primordial God said to El Miore,
I am delighted that the experiments on Venus have been such a success. They have surpassed my greatest expectations. But now that perfect harmony has been achieved, further evolution henceforward will be difficult. Massive volcanic eruptions will soon take place on Venus. You must move some Venusians to other neighboring planets, where they may assist with the evolution of those planets. The other Venusian high spirits must take part in the creation of an entirely new spirit group for the planet Earth. But on Earth, you must start from the very beginning. Call upon the spirits from the other planets. Educate them so that they may create an ideal planet that will contribute to the evolution of the great universe.
Since the living conditions created on Earth were fairer than on Venus, higher goals were set for a more dynamic evolution. Thus, a special environment had been created, one in which souls would be able to evolve eternally.
The time has come to begin the creation of the human race here on Earth.
It was at this time that Elmiore, the former ruler of Venus and the first ninth-dimensional being of the Earth, changed his name to El Cantare. A name that embraced the meaning of the beautiful land of light, Earth. El Cantare moved the spiritual life force of the Venusians that he had once created to the planet Earth, and he granted them the power of procreation.
Live as human beings. Wisdom and courage. Grace and compassion.
And so, human beings were created on Earth. The descendants of those human beings multiplied steadily. And when the population exceeded 770 million,
these humans should have the opportunity to experience leadership.
So El-Kantari then decided to have them teach and guide other human-like entities who were transferred to Earth from neighboring planets. And he invited 3 grand spirits to come together to draw up the master plan.
These 3 grand spirits from the 9th dimension presented their ideas on how to integrate the human-like beings into Earth. And then...
It was at this time that the dinosaurs began to overtake the surface of the Earth. So the decision was made to integrate the planet's first group of immigrants, a warlike race from the Magellanic Cloud.
But lacking a spirit of harmony, these first immigrants were extremely arrogant, and El-Kantari decided to invite another group of immigrants to Earth. 1 billion new immigrants arrived from the constellation Orion in a huge fleet, and with them came yet another 3 grand spirits. Next came the 3rd group of immigrants, totaling 2 billion entities who journeyed from Pegasus, and they brought with them 2 more grand spirits.
as a result, the 10 ninth-dimensional Grand Spirits all assembled and set forth to guide the terrestrial spirit group of Earth.
As it stands now, El-Kantari's spirit group has increased its numbers to more than 40 billion, whereas the total of all the immigrant groups represent less than 10% of the whole population. The number of immigrants needs to be increased.
Are you proposing, then, another immigration?
No, they can multiply on Earth. We must create a Pytron. It will be used to reproduce the spiritual bodies of the immigrants. And at first, the plan seemed to be working. However,
many of the bodies who were recreated with the Pytron forgot their spiritual nature. They soon abandoned themselves to a world of materialism and other physical desires.
Everyone's doing it. Shouldn't we enjoy ourselves while we're still alive?
The next world? Who cares?
What's so wrong with having fun now?
Where are we?
What's happening? What's going on here?
After their deaths, these spirits began to inhabit the bottom level of the spirit world.
And this was the beginning of hell.
Before its numbers reached 1 billion, the production of human spirits by the Pytron was banned. And then, some 120 million years ago, one of the leaders from the Magellanic Cloud was reborn on Earth. He became attached to status, material goods, and sensual pleasures, and as a result, became corrupt. He fell to the bottom world, unable to return to the higher dimensions. Incensed, he instigated a rebellion against the high spirits who dwelled in heaven.
For he was jealous of Enlil, the leader of those who emigrated from the Magellanic Cloud.
The poison of jealousy has the power to turn even an angel into a devil.
Until finally, he became the king of hell, conspiring with all the other evil spirits residing in the underworld.
The dark thoughts of these evil spirits of hell formed a mass of impenetrable clouds, which was so dense that it blocked the light of God, leaving the realm of hell to waste away in utter darkness.
Our problem is how this will affect the earthly world.
The hungry spirits of hell intruded upon Earth in search of new sources of energy.
This is mine, all mine.
Why not have some fun?
Go beat him up.
The spirits from the underworld found those earthly beings who had dark thoughts and possessed them, fueling their desires and feeding off their negative energy.
What's so wrong with having fun?
Over the course of the next 120 million years, the world was filled with all sorts of evils and forms of chaos.
But when the beings who had been possessed by the evil spirits died, they could not return straight to heaven. And so, the population of hell kept growing, and the spirits continued to venture onto Earth in search of more sources of energy. This resulted in the population of hell increasing, with its inhabitants coming to Earth again and again.
I don't understand. Jesus, for God's sake. We're gonna take out all his work. We're gonna take all his money. It'll be great.
What we are dealing with is a vicious cycle. Something must be done.
And so, in order to purify the world, the Earth consciousness called forth great catastrophes to befall the planet Earth.
Human beings could no longer survive there, but neither could the inhabitants of Hell.
They kept falling deeper and deeper into the abysses within Hell.
They shall never experience the glory of victory.
Another civilization has been destroyed.
We couldn't help it. It was the only way to purify the world on Earth.
If only we had some other way to break this vicious cycle. Then there would be no need for such destruction.
The world on Earth should be purified through the inner light of its own people. If the earthly world is filled with light, it will eliminate the source of negative energy. And eventually, over time, Hell itself will disappear. Let the world on Earth be illuminated once again. Let it be filled with the sun of truth.
In order to realize this, El-Kantari sent branches of his own spirit down to Earth. And with the power of enlightenment, he also produced many guiding spirits of light to help those on Earth.
The guiding spirits of light lit up the hearts and minds of many people, and slowly they began to purify the earthly world.
Meanwhile, the inhabitants of Hell continued in desperation to expand and gain control of the world in an effort to escape the agonies of Hell. And for over a period of more than 100 million years now, there has been a constant battle between the high spirits and the inhabitants of Hell.
But why doesn't God simply destroy these evil spirits from Hell?
Because he granted freedom to all souls.
Even the freedom to do evil.
Evil is a distortion caused by the conflict of free will.
God extends a helping hand even to those souls who misuse their freedom, patiently waiting until they have become aware of their faults.
And so you see, he has put this great project into practice.
This project had already been planned 17,000 years ago.
17,000 years ago?
Yes, for it was then when El-Kantari's light descended upon the lost continent of Mu.
He was the Emperor of Light, whose fame became known across the galaxy, La Mu.
The continent of Mu appeared on Earth approximately 370,000 years ago. It was about twice the size of Australia and located where Indonesia now stands. 20,000 years ago, the first signs of civilization appeared, and 3,000 years after that, Under the reign of Lamu, the civilization was able to reach its peak. At the time, the continent was called the Moa continent, but it soon became known as the Mu continent, taking the name of Lamu, the light of El Cantare that descended to Earth.
The Mu Empire has entered the age of advanced solar technology, and the people are enjoying its prosperity.
Hey, you're late. Hurry up.
But I am concerned. The people are losing sight of something very important.
Agun, why don't you pray with me?
This is the age of advanced solar technology. Who needs silly prayer? Why am I being dropped from the team?
That's a done deal already, so quit your complaining.
You're forgetting that this project was my idea in the first place.
Well, I guess the boss changed his mind. Go take it up with him if you want.
I get it now. You were using me all along.
Whatever you say, buddy. One just cannot afford to be naive when living in a dog-eat-dog world such as this. Isn't that the advice you gave me once? The truth of the matter is, no one really gets along with you.
And what's wrong with calling those lazy workers useless?
What? It's no wonder that not one of them vouched for you.
Have you heard about that big new hospital that opened? I hear they let you take a bath every day.
It sounds nice. I'm sorry, we're really short on staff right now.
It's all right. I know you can't do anything about it. Hey, Miss Yana, I'm feeling kind of thirsty. Can I have some water?
Yes. This will only take a minute. I'll be right back. Hey, hurry up over there. This rash is driving me crazy. Yes, ma'am.
Miss Yana?
Yes?
I am having a terrible stomach ache. Could you please call the doctor for me?
Oh, where does it hurt?
Leave that work for the real doctor. Just hurry up and get me some water.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
They have such lousy service here. You can't expect much. After all, it is a free hospital for the poor.
If only my son made more money, then I could transfer to a better hospital for decent treatment. Yeah.
Get out of the way! Move! Move! Move!
Please, I beg of you. I just need a little more time.
I think you've wasted enough of my time already. So now it is your turn to make good on that promise to me.
But I can't afford to lose my plant right now.
It's no longer your plant anymore. I'll take care of the employees.
Wait, no, please reconsider.
Your Majesty? Your Majesty? Your Majesty, it is time for you to get ready.
Even now, people are straying from their spiritual paths. The traditional primitive worship of the sun is no longer capable of nurturing people's souls in this new age. We need a higher teaching, a teaching that will contribute to the prosperity of our society and enrich our souls through faith.
Yana, we're over here! Here!
Oh, I'm so glad you came. Now the three of us can celebrate the king's birthday together. Cheer up, it'll be fun.
Hey, mister! Are you okay?
Through the use of solar technology, our civilization has been able to make great advancements and achieve remarkable progress. And it is in the midst of this prosperity that I make the following announcement. The time has finally arrived to establish the kingdom of God. But before we can do that, you must first know what God is. Like the sun, God is filled with immeasurable light. And like that light, He will continuously pour His love onto us without ever asking for anything from us in return. When you become aware of this love, you'll know, you'll understand, you will know that God just like the sun. As children of God, it is necessary for human beings to learn to live in the spirit of giving love. Living with the spirit of love means sharing what God has given you with others around you, instead of keeping it for yourself. One must never be selfish. Casting the light of love into others' hearts and making them happy, this is the act of giving love. Furthermore, all you people of Mu must remember to constantly work towards self-improvement. Not only in academic learning or technical skills, but you must especially aim for spiritual improvement.
For spiritual improvement?
The most important thing in your life is to strive for spiritual improvement through various experiences in life. Because ultimately, this is what will bring you closer to God. That being said, do not waste your life. Do not waste this year. Do not waste a single day. And do not ever end a day, a minute, or a second without learning something. People of Mu, the time has now come for you to rediscover your true selves once again. And it is time to fill this land with happiness. Come and let us establish a magnificent utopia on the glorious continent of Mu. This is the reason why all of you were born into this glorious age.
It is the light of the sun. I see it now. The sun has descended to Earth.
Lamu was not only a great religious leader, but he was an excellent ruler as well. Each night, he would converse with the high spirits and ask for their advice on determining national policies.
This is how we should govern a country. Rulers should humble themselves before God, opening their heart and listening to what he says. For if they were to make a mistake, it would affect the lives of the whole population. To make important decisions without seeking advice from God first, this is a sign of extreme arrogance.
Do you think you can move that to the right a little more?
Sure.
Keep up the good work.
You've made great progress. Coming!
La Mu, also known as the Great Light of Mu, illuminated people's souls, and under his guidance, the Empire reached the peak of prosperity. He proved to humankind that right faith can bring infinite happiness to each individual, and prosperity to an entire society.
However, after the death of Lamu the Great, things began to change. His people gradually forgot his teachings, and the empire, which was once at the peak of its glory, began its eventual decline. Those who had forgotten the great teachings of Lamu were unable to accept the power of enlightenment. They mocked his teachings of love and compassion.
Until ultimately, the continent of Mu disappeared deep beneath the ocean in 3 stages. Some of the Mu were able to escape in boats. These were the ancestors of the Vietnamese, Japanese, and Chinese peoples.
But some others sailed eastward. After the disappearance of the Mu continent, El Cantare's light descended onto the continent of Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean. Some of the Mu made their way to Atlantis and brought with them their science and technology. The civilization of Atlantis reached its peak when Thoth, the Great Master, descended to the continent around 12,000 years ago.
Thoth, the omniscient and omnipotent, had great knowledge in a number of fields, ranging from religion, politics, philosophy, science, and art. Under the guidance of Thoth, Atlantis developed a civilization based on advanced technology that even Mu could not rival.
Thoth then cast the light of wisdom upon his people, which accelerated the progress of civilization.
After which, the light made its way to Egypt, then to Greece, and then to Rome. It became the original source of Western civilization that blossomed later in history.
So the light of El Cantare, which reincarnated as Lamu and then again as Thoth, descended to the Andes to become the king of the ancient Incan kingdom. His name was Rient al-Crowd. At that time, the Earth was faced with a major crisis.
Raise your hands to God! God is descending from heaven! Glory to God!
Good job. Here.
Dad, I can't stand this anymore. I can't.
We didn't have a choice. If we hadn't joined them, we wouldn't have been able to survive in a small village like this.
But even our neighbor, Auntie Roca, she's complaining this is really creepy.
All right, I'm leaving.
Hey, wait for me. I want to go too. That's a good girl.
Do you really think that God will come down?
Good evening, Auntie Roca.
Thanks again for helping us.
Hey, Auntie Roca, do you believe in the legend about the boat, too?
The legend? Why, yes. It says that long ago, God came to this land in a flying boat and brought with him great wisdom and tremendous prosperity. You know that tale has been handed down from a long time ago.
I cannot know for certain whether or not God will ever descend upon the earth again. But when I look at the stars in the sky, I feel in my heart that there must be some great power out there.
That's very true. I somehow always feel that God is watching over us every day.
Oh, great God! I humbly thank you for inviting me here.
Human, where is your sacrifice?
What? Oh, you mean, do you want the...
Bring me your sacrifice.
Yes, right away, sir.
The creatures who deceive the humans in the name of God were reptile-like aliens called reptilians. The reptilians liked to eat the animals of Earth and occasionally enjoyed eating human flesh, too.
They brainwashed the Earthlings by using the name of God, when their true intentions were to invade and overtake the Earth.
But this was a violation of the Universal Code, which states that no planet should interfere with any other planet as long as its people live with the spirit of love and harmony.
They cunningly devised a plan that would not breach the universal code.
They brainwashed individuals and used them to instigate disorder in society. This gave the Reptilians a reason to interfere. They then intended to have their compatriots immigrate to Earth so they could control the planet before the space police interfered.
I'm here to take your daughter. She has been chosen to be the next sacrifice to God.
Listen well, everyone! I have a message directly from God. He wants you all to know that we are the chosen people. God has promised us endless life and everlasting youth. And now let the sacrifice begin! What? Come back! Come back to us, God!
That was not God!
It's him. Rient Al Crowd.
King Rient Al Crowd? But why?
King Rient Al Crowd, now is the time. Let me get this straight. As if interrupting our sacrifice wasn't enough. How dare you have the audacity to claim that wasn't God? Have you not heard the ancient legend? Did you not see those flying ships in the air? Who, if not God, could possess such ships? There can be no stronger evidence that that was God in there. Step aside. From now on, we shall rule this country in the name of God.
You should know that the power of flight does not make one a god. We know how to make a balloon fly through the air. And before that, we had the ability to fly ourselves. So you see, aviation technology does not make someone God. After all, it is our ancestors that once descended from the sky to this land. They flew over from a continent called Atlantis in giant flying ships.
Impossible! No way! How is it that you know all these things anyway? Show me the evidence! I want to see the proof!
I possess the power to see the past, present, and future of all mankind.
I also have the ability to exist beyond time and space.
That can't be! You're lying!
The civilization of Atlantis flourished under the guidance of the great guru Thoth. But 2,000 years after Thoth's death, his people forgot about his teachings. They began to believe only in science and technology. They denied God and the other world. They even persecuted the faithful, those who respected love and spirituality, by burying them alive in the town square. Dark clouds created from their evil thoughts covered Atlantis completely, and the reaction of the Earth consciousness caused the continent to sink beneath the ocean. Some of the population headed for Egypt. They created a new civilization there. Others landed here on this land of Inca and planted the seeds for a new civilization.
Then explain to me who those people were in those flying vehicles.
If they aren't gods.
Those beings that tricked you were merely aliens.
Huh?
There are many different beings from numerous planets. Some of these visitors from other planets can be very amicable, but even as we speak, there are others who are planning to take over this planet. That is exactly what they are conspiring to do now.
What will happen if they decide to attack?
I know of only one way to protect the Earth from these aliens who are equipped with highly sophisticated technology. You must use the power of love. Through the spirit of love, people's minds can come together as one. Only then will they not be able to take advantage of us. We have this power, and that is why they want us to hate each other and fight with one another. Together we can protect this planet, but first we must fill our hearts with love and strive to become closer to God. This is the only way that we will be able to succeed.
I refuse to believe any of your lies.
I believe in King Crowd!
Yes, so do I.
Me too. I believe him.
What were you expecting to receive from those aliens? What kinds of things did they promise you? Look inward to the universe located within each of you. There you will find infinite possibilities.
The universe within?
The universe within me? Is it true?
Close your eyes. Now calm your minds. God does not exist outside of you. God exists deep within you. Look within your heart, and you will find that the light of El Cantare is shining brightly.
The light of El Cantare?
Yes, I see now. He is the true God.
And that was how Riant Arl Crowd protected those on Earth from the malicious aliens. He simply showed them the mystic power of love.
Once again, the light of El Cantare reincarnated itself in Greece. It was about 6,500 years ago when the golden light descended on the island of Delos, this time as Ophelis. Ophelis was later called the fundamental god of Greece, for he was the one who laid the foundation for Greek spirit by teaching self-development and performing miracles with the power of faith.
And 2,000 years later, the golden light descended to Crete in the Aegean Sea as Hermes. Hermes taught about the spirit of love and development, and guided Greece to the peak of its prosperity. And then the golden light moved on to Asia.
Gautama Siddhartha, Shakyamuni Buddha descended on Earth.
Siddhartha, I have finalized the arrangements for your wedding. Yashodhara will be a good queen for our Shakya clan. I have nothing to worry about anymore. Right?
Are you Yashodhara?
Now, Siddhartha, come with me.
The pleasures of the flesh will only bring about pain and suffering. True happiness does not and never will exist in such pleasures. The devil. You are the daughters of Mara. And yet there must be the light of angels within each one of you. You have merely forgotten this, and so you are filled with greed and driven to do evil. That is why you must suffer in hell. If you wish to be beautiful like an angel, make your heart and mind beautiful.
Siddhartha! Gautama Siddhartha! I am the god who countless numbers of generations have long worshipped. I am Brahma. I was very impressed. You have become quite enlightened. But young Siddhartha, in your relentless pursuit of enlightenment, you have forgotten something very important that will affect your quest. You have neglected a basic principle of being human. You have abandoned your father. Am I wrong?
Unacceptable! Absolutely not! Who will rule this country while you run off to become a monk? Especially in these times of war, our Shakya clan is constantly vulnerable and exposed. It's not as if you don't know about these dangers. You are both strong and intelligent. You are respected and loved by the people. Siddhartha, you can protect this country. You are my only hope. The future of the Shakya clan lies with you. What will we do without you?
Your heart must be aching. That is natural for a human. Oh yes, I remember now. You also left your mother crying and heartbroken.
There you are. Prajapati.
What is it, Your Majesty?
What are you thinking about?
About Siddhartha. I was simply wondering if I was ever a good enough mother to him.
You did everything for that boy. You loved him as your own when his real mother passed away. You are not responsible for his decision to become a monk. Do not let it concern you.
Yet, I have even more pity for the wife and child that you abandoned. Isn't it the most important thing for you human beings to get married and find happiness through your family life?
Wait a minute, Siddhartha. Don't go.
My father. He has grown old. Should I return to the palace of Kapila to succeed my father to the throne?
Yes, that is exactly what you should do now. Hurry back and return to the palace. You will make everyone happy. You have tried your best, and that is good enough. Now go back to your home and live for the happiness of your family and clan. You may remain spiritual by keeping in contact with me, Brahma. You should try to enjoy your life as much as possible in this world. After all, isn't that why you were born into this world? The more you enjoy yourself in this world, the greater your happiness will be in the next.
The more I enjoy myself in this world. I was unable to find any clues for enlightenment through ascetic discipline. And yet, the luxurious life of the palace seemed just as empty.
Oh.
Physical pain, as well as physical pleasure, both extremes must be denied. The middle path between pain and pleasure must be followed in order to pursue the truth. The more I enjoy myself in this world, the greater my happiness will be in the next.
Oh?
Perhaps it is my attachment to this world, still lurking in my mind, that is causing these thoughts. You are not Brahma.
How can you say that to me, Siddhartha? I am merely concerned about you.
Quiet. You are Mara, the devil. I can see your true form.
But Siddhartha! Once again, you have impressed me with your abilities.
So, you have discovered my true identity. Well, you should have gone back to the palace while you still had the chance. Prepare yourself! Come forth, my invincible warriors! No one in heaven or earth can defeat you! Yet this man is trying to humiliate us and is attempting to deprive us of our rightful home. Show him the fires of your rage and destroy him! Burn him with your flames of hate!
Listen carefully. Even if there is no one in heaven or on earth who can defeat your troops, I will still defeat you by using the power of infinite wisdom which I possess.
No matter what kind of thoughts I have, even considerate thoughts for my family, if they turn into attachment, they will cause great suffering. I must become unattached. I must become like the water in a stream that keeps running.
I must pass on my knowledge of this enlightenment to others.
From that moment on, the Buddha began to teach the Dharma, traveling mostly through northern India. Many people seeking enlightenment became his disciples. Among them were several members of the royal family. Monasteries such as Vanuvana and Jetavana were built in various places. Through his teachings, more and more people were saved from their suffering. In 45 years' time, the Buddha became revered throughout India.
I'm glad to see all you monks and nuns gathered here. Ever since my enlightenment 40-some years ago, I have always taught you to strive for your own spiritual progress, while at the same time extending a helping hand to those in need of salvation. I have always tried to teach the profound truth in a way so that most could understand it. But now I am finally prepared to show you all true enlightenment, which I attained while under the Bodhi tree.
True enlightenment?
Truth is always found in what is simple. Those who give love are considered good. Those who take love from others are considered bad. The good return to heaven, and the bad will fall to hell. Angels smile upon those with positive thoughts, and negative thoughts will only attract those that are evil. Exploration of the right mind will lead you to enlightenment, whereas exploring the wrong mind will throw you into despair. But remember, even those who have fallen into hell are allowed to return to heaven as long as they recognize their mistakes and repent, because human beings are all children of God, and each one has Buddha nature within them.
Buddha nature.
Regardless of one's birth, regardless of one's social status, regardless of gender or of profession, and regardless of any sins they may have committed in their past. By taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by continuing in spiritual discipline, all souls will be saved and guided to the path to Buddha.
Earthquake! Earthquake!
This universe was not created without a purpose. Nothing in heaven occurs by accident, and nothing here on earth was created without a purpose. Even a leaf does not fall off the tree by accident. It is subject to God's law. The primordial God's will connects all things in the universe.
And so is this how the universe was created?
How great the primordial God is! His will has existed before recorded time, before the universe was even created. His will embraced, loved, and nurtured all things in the universe. And as such, he instructed his children, "My dear creatures, strive to be great beings. Strive to be as I am." And thus, each of your souls was created.
Our souls.
A light identical to that of the primordial God, the parent of your soul, resides in each one of you. That is what we call the Buddha nature. Have faith. This does not mean worshipping that which is invisible and far away. No. For within each and every one of you lies the very existence of the great Buddha. But people forget even this simple truth as they go about their lives. And as civilization is enjoying its latest glory, evils rise up. Clouds of dark thoughts cover the land, and huge disasters take place.
Then what will eventually become of our civilization?
Is this the future of mankind?
I cannot believe it.
Do not fear darkness, for no matter how dark and hopeless this world may become, I promise you, the sun will rise again.
The sun will rise again?
From under the sun of truth, which will permeate through the darkness and shine onto Earth, human beings will build a new civilization once again.
When the world sinks in darkness, and there is a need for light, that is when I will descend from the heavens and return to the earth, bringing forth a new light of hope.
The rebirth of the Buddha.
He will return to us.
He will descend again?
"2,500 years from now, I will descend again to the land in the east and teach the laws of the sun."
The laws of the sun.
Buddha, thank you for preaching the truth. We journeyed from the ideal land on the far side of the universe for the sole purpose of studying the laws of the sun.
We humbly ask you to teach us the laws of the sun.
Who are they?
In the universe far beyond this Earth and solar system, there are numerous stars where human-like beings, similar to yourselves, are striving on a daily basis to attain happiness, just as you are.
Oh, Buddha, allow us to spread the laws of the sun in that future society and in those latter days of the world.
We will do what we can to spread the divine laws to every corner of this planet.
Allow us to transform this Earth into a utopia.
Please, entrust us with this mission.
What's happening?
I can't believe this.
Huh?
No, there is no need. Earth is filled with angels who are carrying out this mission to practice and spread Buddha's teachings.
Angels?
These are the disciples I have guided over the years.
Disciples? That's who they are? But tell me, how are you able to create and gather so many angels in only the 40 years since you have attained enlightenment?
Because this is not the first time that I have attained enlightenment and become the Buddha. Ever since time immemorial, I have descended to Earth repeatedly to teach the truth as the Buddha. And in those civilizations that have already disappeared, a large number of angels were created through my guidance. Thus, over a long period of time, the amount of light on Earth has been steadily increasing. These angels who are assembled here have lived as my disciples through various ages, and have dedicated themselves to conveying the truth. And similarly, it is each one of you here who has repeatedly reincarnated to this Earth along with me, and have lived many lives as my disciples.
To all of us now, please entrust us with the honorable mission to spread the laws of the sun throughout the world. We can do it. We will do it. We lived as your disciples many times. Please allow us to live as your disciples once again.
Every single time that my brother souls have descended to the Earth, they have dedicated themselves to the creation of a utopia on that land. But in 2,500 years from now, the golden light will descend to a land in the east, with the greater mission of creating an ideal land on a global scale.
Create an ideal land on a global scale?
Buddha will extend salvation. He will offer to all the people on earth, and he will purify the entire world. He will immerse the world with his tremendous light of enlightenment, that of which has never been seen before. Furthermore, he will shine down his light of compassion. It will illuminate even the depths of hell and free its inhabitants from the prison of their souls. Thus, Earth will enter the age of the sun.
I just can't believe this.
It sounds too good to be true.
The one who will descend into the land in the east will be the very core of my spirit. He is the eternal Buddha, Grand Savior, also known as the Lord El-Kantare.
Eternal Buddha will descend.
The parent of human souls will finally descend to Earth?
The eternal Buddha, El-Kantare, is a supreme existence that possesses all the features of light of my brother souls that have ever descended to Earth, and is even mightier than all these energies combined. It is the source of the light that keeps illuminating mankind from time immemorial and toward the eternal future. Essentially, it is not supposed to incarnate on Earth.
It's amazing! It must be a miracle!
Then that means we all must have
studied the truth through numerous reincarnations.
We were waiting for that moment.
The Master is who teaches the laws, while the disciples spread the laws. Awaken to your mission and be well prepared, and assemble before eternal Buddha. El-Kantare!
We understand. We will simply watch over this planet.
And when the eternal Buddha teaches the laws of the sun, we will come back.
We will be waiting for that moment.
Hmm?
Look at the moon. Even if it is hidden, if it is obscured by the clouds, it continues to shine behind them. Life is like this. Even if earthly life ends, it will continue to shine forever with no end. After I am gone, nourish your souls with the teachings that I have preached. Turn on your inner light and continue to progress spiritually.
Yes.
Do not be distracted by the changes that take place in this world. Continue to strive for spiritual perfection.
As Lamu, El-Kantare's light guided people when he taught them spiritual progress. Later, it flourished in India and became the source of Eastern civilization.
El-Kantare's light of prosperity manifested through Thoth in Atlantis, and then through Ophalis and Hermes, and this laid the foundation for the Western civilization.
These two currents will join in the land of the East.
Do you mean on Judgment Day?
No. El-Kantare does not judge, nor punish.
He is the god of love. He creates and nurtures.
The descent of his core soul onto the earth will be a glorious story, and it will forever have a place in the histories of the universe.
However, the future of the planet Earth has still yet to be determined. Whether great joy or sorrow awaits the universe depends completely on the people living on the planet.
The disciples of the past have already been reborn to Earth.
The light has already descended to Earth. And the laws of the sun have already been taught. All that remains is...
I'm a little lost.
Actually, that's where we're headed right now.
Then why don't we all go together? Huh?
Have we met somewhere before? No, I guess that can't be possible.
No way.